It was a long-standing family for somebody
Yeah.
who stabbed somebody go back station.
Yeah. And again,
You are now somewhere between the two.
so we are still mad.
Yeah, we are angry.
And these two fall in love.
And these two, like Capulets and Montague.
And Montague, it's a Romeo and Juliet story. I saw someone tweeted that Romeo and Juliet, they were not in love, they were on drugs.
No, come on, man. You can't say that. And then my aunt is like, yo, sissy. Put it on a bigger manzi. From top to top, man, it's a big statue. Sepona.
You are overhearing this.
Sepona, statue, sissy, Brenwood, umtete.
Wow.
Umtete, sissy, shirt. I knew it. The collar. Hi. Have you put it on? I put it on a bigger much was saying, I'm a cold drink. Sissy. Sakala panel, tiny row. Put it was intercourse. Was intercourse. I think she wanted to say was entertainer. I remember that story going, what?
King David Studio Podcast.
I have Sonia Mbele in the studio. It's a big deal to me. I hope it's a big deal for her.
It's a big deal to me. Hence, I said when I got the invite, I was like, not David. No.
Really?
Yes.
Come on.
It's a little bit intimidating.
No way. I've known you for long.
I know.
I was at Metro.
Right?
That's how long it is.
Yes.
I was working with that big guy.
And you never gave me that gig.
Which gig?
I asked for a gig.
I don't even remember. Do I owe you a gig?
You owe me a gig.
What gig?
Legit owe me a
That's
gig.
easy.
No, it's fine.
It's so many years ago now.
No, it's been a while.
I hope you've been well.
I've been great. I cannot complain at all.
Yeah.
Life, it is for the living, and I am taking it one day at a time.
Yeah.
As you mentioned off air, that things have happened. You know, there's been so many developments. People in the industry have left us.
Yes.
And I walk into every single day so grateful, bearing in mind that I'm still here and I can still make a difference. I know that most people are jaded because there's like something that's happening spiritually. There's a shift in the paradigm. Nobody knows what's going on.
No.
People are depressed. You know, we don't know what's going on in the industry. I do think it's an attack though. I really do. Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. We're not going to get into it. But
who's attacking us?
It's
who's
deep.
attacking who?
No, I don't know. I literally had a conversation with God. I know, guys, this is going to sound weird. No, I had a conversation with him and I was just interrogating and asking what's going on. Like, why can't we get it right? Why is Nollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood like thriving? But Tina, it's a constant struggle.
Would you describe it? Because your description is very big, as in like, this is heavy.
I think so.
Is it as bad as it seems? Or is it as you describe it? And please help us understand a little bit.
Guys, don't come for me. Please,
No,
it's
don't worry.
my opinion.
Yes.
It's my feeling. I just don't understand why we can't crack it, why we can't get it right. I've been in the industry for 25 years. And I still go on set today as an actress and I hate it.
Really?
I love the acting. I love the work. I hate the behind the scenes, the background, the hurry up and wait, the still sitting on plastic chairs, no green room, eating from maspagisane, fighting for an increase in my contract. You know, trying to make everyone understand that, yes, I am a veteran.
You may not look like one, but you are.
Pay me!
Yes.
Come on!
Oh, no.
I've been doing this. And I'm the person that will wake up at 4 o'clock for 5 a.m. call time. I am always present. I always show up. I arrive with a smile. I leave with a smile. So
There's something not
where
right.
are the benefits still? You know what I mean?
Where's the hold up? What, in your opinion?
Oh, it's a lot, David. I think, oh my God, I'm going to be in trouble. I feel sorry for me.
You don't have to mention names.
No,
but
I'm
you can
not.
mention
And I'm not gonna.
institutions.
No, I'm not
Yes.
gonna. I'm not even gonna
Yes.
go there. I'm not gonna try. But I just think, sure, there's a divide. There's a divide. The producers live in their own world. And talent lives in its own land. And then there's the production in the middle, caught in the middle.
Okay. And
that's why when I decided to jump from behind the scenes in front of the camera, I had to make a deal with God's ancestors, whoever is your anchor. And I was like, I'm going to jump, right? But you have to promise me that when I do jump, I see the change I want to see.
Jump from in front of the camera to
behind.
behind the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to make a significant difference. I need to make a change. I want to change the industry one day at a time. I want to change the industry for the better one day at a time.
I look at your statement and you say there's producers, actors.
And then there's production in the middle.
Production in the middle, which is the output.
They need to make the actors happy,
yes.
Yet they have the producers in their ears.
Yes. And also we're dealing with not production companies, the people who broadcast the content, which is your SABCs, for example.
Yes, the platforms, the networks.
Yes. What role do they play, if at all, any at all, in this divide that you call? You smile. Why?
Help. I'm asking his team to help me. Ooh, David, there's no accountability.
Okay.
I think people are now coasting. I think people are there to just say, I have a title. What they're doing about that title, it baffles me. I don't know. And I'm saying this because as much as I'm Sonia Mbele, the actress, and who has transitioned to Sonia Mbele, the producer, I still struggle. And if Sonia struggles,
what about
nephew?
Yes. What about some young kid?
What are the chances?
Yeah.
So I still struggle. I still submit some of my projects. I still ask for a pitch. I'm that one hand emoji. And I believe I've got good content. I believe so. I know that. Because that much I know. I'm that much confident.
Yes.
Because I go through my shirt and I'm like, let's go shit.
and you've done this long enough.
You know?
I know you're obsessed with formatting and things like that.
Yes. So I do that. And then I do submit. And then I still don't hear anything back. And then I send an email. Hi guys, have you received my stuff? And then nothing. Then I send a message, a WhatsApp, then I'm blue ticked. So and I'm mized. Then I don't know. So I don't know. You can't even get an in. You can't even get a sit down.
So you're saying your challenge is identical to a kid that just got out of after a week ago.
I can't get a sit down with anyone.
Wow. Yeah. And not that you, Sonia Mbele, that deserves it.
Just give me a chance. Like,
can I?
Yeah. I literally got a WhatsApp today.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? His name is. He sent me a message the other day. He's like, "Hi, good day, Sonia Mbele," and then he sends me his proposal. Right?
Yeah. Okay. There is an attachment.
There's an attachment. I'm a creative. I am a creative concept. That's what it says.
Okay.
Let's work together on that concept. You know me, friends. It's somebody that I have met during an audition. He was working for the production company.
Okay.
Can we set up a meeting to discuss about the concept? And I said, I honestly don't take people's projects. I already have my hands full. Even my projects are struggling. Wow. He says, okay. Do you know someone who can help? I still haven't responded. I'm not mising. I'm just thinking. I'm still thinking who I can refer him to. But that's my truth.
And what is then the reality of the finances that comes with this industry? I say this from a much bigger point of view that says for an industry to grow, there has to be activity inside it. Like big busy.
Yeah. I mean, you ask, what are the institutions doing? And I'm getting no joy. I don't want to lie. I have submitted something with SABC.
Yeah.
SABC last year, and I heard nothing. And then they opened again on the 19th of August.
Yeah.
They opened up for
unsolicited
script, and I resubmitted the same project I submitted last year. Let's see what happens this time around. You never know.
Yeah. I didn't realize how bad it was for even Sonia.
I had to resubmit a project I submitted last year purely because also I don't give up. And I also want to see how far this goes. Like, I'm like interested. I'm like, okay.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. It leaves me baffled that maybe that's why the industry doesn't really grow.
No, it won't either.
But has it grown if you look at some productions that are Netflix and stuff like that? Is that a growth?
It is. It's an avenue. It's a platform.
Yeah.
One we never had.
Showmax and all of those guys.
Major. Yeah. But the same people that are at your Netflixes and your Showmaxes are the people that were in previous projects or entities or broadcasters. So you are still dealing with the same people that mize you and don't answer your phone.
Oh, boy.
So,
do you know why they don't answer? Maybe not you in particular, but generally.
You know, I've asked myself, David, I don't have an answer.
Yeah.
And as soon as I have an answer, I'll come back and I'll probably come and share. But for now, it really baffles me because these are the people that even when you deal with them or when you are inside now, let's say you knock on the door gets opened and then you step into the room and then you're here now. You are working now. You are looking at David face to face. These are the people that hug you and like, my sister, give me a call. Wow. Don't hesitate. You know what I mean? I'm here for you. You know, let's do this. And then you're like, okay. And then you make that phone call. Remember that conversation? And then all you get is,
oh boy. But do we sometimes blame the institutions or the people?
It's definitely the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an SABC problem.
No. I doubt it. I because SABC is a structure. I mean.
Yes. That's that one's content. So they can broadcast it every day.
Unless SABC is a transformer.
No. Of course not.
They can go through their emails and shred what they don't want, what they want to get rid of. And no, it's definitely the people.
Is it a black thing?
You are taking me deeper.
Well,
David.
I don't know what you see. Is it a color thing? And I ask this very simply. Do we have a problem?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But however, what I will say is that I did work with an institution and something went wrong. Nothing to do with me. And when that thing went wrong, I had to go back, regroup, and say to the people, okay, I realize I will take responsibility for my part.
Okay.
And I realized that things went wrong. And can we do this again? And they were like, okay, cool, let's do it again. And I had a conversation with one of the people inside. And they were like, Sonia, it's so sad that the white companies, they get the budget that they want and they deliver. And then I was hurt, number one, because I think I do put in the work, right? And if something goes wrong that's beyond my control, then what do I do?
True.
But then I still have the tenacity and the energy and the chutzpah to say, okay, let me go back and fix. But now that I'm trying to fix and and now I can't get that budget because now there's no trust.
True.
So I don't know. It's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
And I don't want to step on people's toes because I'm also known. Apparently, I'm trouble.
How did you get that reputation, do you think?
I'm rogue.
Are you rogue?
No, I don't like bullshit.
Oh.
I mean, it stinks, and I can smell it. I'm not gonna pretend that it's ice cream when it's not.
Do you take long to raise your hand about it? Do you absorb it first, or you're the first to say, what do you do?
I think I'm the first person to say I am a bit of a rebel.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I think I'm a rebel. It's because, guys, I've put in the work. I've put in the work. I have. I don't think, I'm not saying that the industry owes me. I'm not saying that when I walk in a room, there should be like, I need drum majorettes to lead me.
When last did I hear that word? Drum majorettes.
Yes. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I've put in the work. And I again, like I said, wake up in the morning, first person to arrive, leave, talk to I will, from makeup department to art department, like I make people's lives easy on set.
Yeah.
Easy. I'm never a diva. Ever.
Yes.
And I can.
If you want it.
I'm capable.
We're glad you
act,
don't do it.
so I can act like I can do anything, right? So I can act like a diva if I wanted to, but there's no need. These people are here to work. You know what I mean?
Let's work.
Cut them some slack and they are working. Let's do what needs to be done the end of the day. And also what I realize is that if you're miserable on set, they're going to sabotage you.
Of course.
Do you understand?
It's like if you're a bad customer at a restaurant.
It's possible.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
They say don't mess around with people who handle stuff that goes into your mouth.
Into your mouth.
Yes.
Do you understand? So I try not to. Also because those people are here to work. They've got families.
That's it.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
So I think if I remember your question correctly, I think for me it's because I've put in so much without complaining. I just feel it's and I'll tell you why I'm saying this. When I was at the other not telenovela, the soapy,
the big one.
the big one.
Okay.
I left a year earlier before the Exodus, right? But I saw it coming. And I knew it was going to happen.
Wait, you knew because they were talking, or
it was my frustration.
Oh,
it was everyone's frustration. It was a thing.
Yeah,
it was a thing.
The thing
You'd
was,
be told, Guti, we are negotiating. It's like a contract renewals negotiations. You get there, you are told.
This is the amount.
Yeah, then why are you calling it a negotiation?
They always talk about 2% when they talk about your story.
Was.
Is that 2% story true?
Legit was a 2% increase. Legit.
For how long?
People don't know where I lived, do they?
No.
I'm scared. Damn it.
For how long? How long was it, that 2%?
I was there for 9 years.
Ooh, that's crazy.
So I knew it was coming.
Others would say you can't blame the people who give you the contract. You blame the person who signed it.
True.
They give you.
No.
And you say
100%.
Yeah.
No. But now, hence, I was like, okay, this does not suit me anymore.
It was time.
I'm not going to sign the 10th contract because I'm out. And then when it happened, I was like,
you saw it. You saw it, hey?
I saw it.
Was that a moment in the history of South African TV, in your opinion? And what did that moment mean?
It was necessary. Because that was the one place where it was paradise.
Yeah.
And I think people needed to know and learn that it is a facade. Looks like paradise.
But it's not really.
It's not really. So, and also for me, the thing was, then you couldn't do any other things because then there's exclusivity.
Oh, and the contract.
Yeah. So.
Jeez, they give you 2% and they still lock you in.
This is the one time I'm going to say no comment.
I said it. You didn't.
After I threw you in that hole. Yeah. So.
It's a rather interesting story because some people would even say that platform makes stars. It used to. I don't know what it does now. Surely it must still, but it's the type of platform that you walk in as a zero, you walk out as a billion.
Hero.
Yes.
Superhero.
Superhero.
Yeah.
And there are those who will argue that, geez, man, you're getting the fame. So this is good.
Yeah. And I think for us, the one thing that didn't make sense, it's now when it is schizo.
Yeah.
When it's not balancing, when you are that superstar, but you are arriving in a Taz at an event, then it's like, thank God for Uber now because we can Uber Black.
Yeah, and it doesn't really show.
It doesn't really show.
It's not my car.
Yeah, but so that was a struggle. I think people were still renting. We couldn't, own homes.
Of course, because banks don't
smile if you're a beggar, And
then they say, we don't know if you'll have a gig next year.
Yeah, please.
And it was a cloudy moment that kind of tried to change things a little bit.
Yeah, look, because I've met him and I know him personally, I kind of get the madness behind the man. And I've had conversations with him about. I really thought he was the Messiah.
Yeah.
Personally.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. No, I really thought he was the Messiah, and I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know if it was too soon, too quick, too much too quick, or there was no. I don't know, maybe a formidable team support
to move this
forward.
Yeah,
but there definitely was hope there. I remember just like going to bed, going, oh, Lord, please bless Saudi.
Imagine that. And he had so many enemies, and there were people who were saying, help this man.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I want to go back to the beginning. We are profiling.
Please.
We are
So I was born in Natalspruit Hospital.
Okay.
Ekurhuleni, and only child to my mom and to my dad. But I do have a brother, or I had a brother from my dad with,
Okay.
you know, how Africans do.
Hey. Can't help it.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
So as long as you declare,
Yeah.
me, I don't see.
Unenkinga yokudeclare, mara. People generally.
No, people must just declare. So that then...
Declare to who? To God, to the ancestors, to the wife?
To the wife, to everybody concerned, all of the above.
And the other side.
And the other side.
Lo
because-
mntwana umshiyayo.
Do you know what I mean? And for me, that's what now muddles the waters, if you know what I mean. Because when I met my brother eventually, I fell in love with him.
How old were you then?
I was, think about 15.
Gee, so it was a while. How old? What is it?
I think he was there. He was about, if I was 15, he was 20.
Jeez, he was much
He was
older.
much older. He was much older.
Huh.
But yeah, look, man, I met him and I was like, oh, missing link, you know, and then he died soon after we met.
Oh, no.
So, and then I had the regret of not having known him longer and things like that. So yes, if he was declared.
So he wasn't declared?
No.
How did it get to a point of the declaration or the introduction? What led to that?
Because I would hear about him and I'd be like, who's this Humphrey? You know, They're talking. Can I meet him? And when I met him, really, really, it made sense. Like that, he was I was like, wow.
Looks like your dad.
Looks like my dad. Mannerisms, the way he spoke.
Wow.
And also, he was just because my dad is love. My dad was full of love.
Yeah.
You know, African dads are scary. Not my dad.
It was easy.
He was the opposite. He was easy. He was chilled. He was loving. He was caring. Even though it didn't manifest itself in a hugs every day, kisses every day, but he had time for me. And I realize now that actually, he probably was suffering from depression. I think so.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, because he was always in his room, curtains drawn, smoking. But every time I walked into that room, he found peace. And we would literally lie there for 4 hours without saying a word, but just like enjoying each other's spaces.
Company.
Yeah. So yeah.
And what drove you to going to the room to sit with?
Because he wouldn't come out.
Jeez, that's dramatic.
Yeah, he wouldn't come out.
And as a child, you can't interpret that.
I couldn't interpret it. Yeah. But now that I'm older and then I got to understand a few things about the family dynamic, I was like, it made sense.
Yeah.
But one thing about him though, he visits me in my dreams till today.
Whoa.
And I look forward to it. I'm always just like, come on now.
Jerry,
I'm ready. Come on.
Wow. But what was the family structure when you were born?
So I was born, like I said, in Natalspruit Hospital. My mom's dad and my family's dad had like a long-standing family feud.
Okay.
So obviously when my mom married my dad, the families were like,
yeah. Distanced themselves.
Hey, not that family. You know?
Which side exactly did
I couldn't tell because I was young, but I know that it was there purely because even when my mom married my dad, and then obviously she moved into my dad's family home. And then when there were issues, she couldn't go back to her.
Wow. To her family.
To her family. We had to move to Pretoria.
Oh, no.
To keep that distance. So I'm not sure exactly, but I know that it probably was both sides.
And you still don't know what the fight was about?
It was a long-standing family for somebody who stabbed somebody at Park Station.
Yeah. And again,
wanna somewhere between the two.
So we are still mad.
Yeah, we are angry.
And these two fall in love.
And these two fall like Capulet and Montague.
And Montague, it's a Romeo and Juliet story. I saw someone tweeted that Romeo and Juliet, they were not in love, they were on drugs.
No, come on, man. You can't say that.
On drugs.
I refuse to believe. I'm still such a romantic.
Wow, so there was a long-standing, and nothing.
Yeah, it was like somebody stabbed someone somewhere at Park Station, and
that story stays still in the family.
Yeah.
Is it still there? Is there still animosity so many years later?
I don't think so, purely because the ones that were there during that time, God rest their souls, they're gone.
Oh.
So like Ubabamncane wami is
the carriers of the anger.
Yeah, the carriers of the anger have since left, and now Ubabamncane wami is like Like literally when my dad died, he stepped in terms of that father figure. He sends me those Christian messages every day. You have one of those videos.
Yeah.
And it's confusing because he'll send Commodores and then he'll send Pastor Mboro. I'm like, what?
I dig him.
And they're confusing.
You know what? He's a typical South African.
Yes.
We are multi-layered.
No, we are. But I enjoy. I look forward to Babu Mncani's messages. Even my mom on Sunday. Yeah, from the Commodore to Mboro, where you're like,
I dig him. Do you know why? Because we debate about target audience in radio a lot.
Yeah.
And when we decode a South African radio/music listener, we find that they're so multi-layered. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to accept them.
Till today, I listen to Metro every Sunday. Listen today.
To that.
Like I don't care where I am. Whether I have the app on my phone. I am there every Sunday. I am there.
But you probably don't listen to it every day.
No.
Because it doesn't appeal to your age, your interests, and all of that.
Yeah, I don't understand them anymore, these kids.
But you enjoy the Sunday.
But Sundays are for me.
And if you were to be invited to a party on a piano, you will move with the young kids.
Yes. I'm
yeah, thank you.
I'm there,
that's the multi-layered nature of a South African audience.
Yes, that's true.
And if Trumpies would walk in here, you'd say, "Hey!"
Exactly. To the point where actually one of the things that I created was around the genres Amapiano. And for me, it was because I feel like you just said when I walked in, guys, David said, we don't document, we don't profile, and until it's too late. So for me, it was a question of, guys, I feel like we need to capture this moment right now, right here.
A piano.
Now, while it's still hot, right?
Because we've seen this before.
Yes. Where we've seen it with Kwaito, but we did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, well done, Arthur. Next.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So yes, that's one of the reasons, because I think we're on the same page when it comes to that, because I really, 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 really want to work on this project and really hoping SABC will respond.
We hope and pray. I know they're serious about what they want, though. In terms of new content. I know that.
Okay. Look, yeah. I'm hoping. I'm hoping this time somebody responds.
Yeah, because
they'll be happy, trust.
Yeah, it'll work as well.
It'll work.
Okay. There's a kid that's born into a family setup. Mom and dad living together, married. Mm-hmm. When you were born, they were married.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And mawufika endlini uthola bani?
So I woke up into we moving.
Whoa.
Because we moved when I was 2 years old.
Okay. And that is when you wake up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think that's my first memories. I remember us arriving at Pitori. Okay, so here's the thing. What happened was...
Let's hear it.
My grandmother, my biological grandmother, was the breadwinner of the family. So it was her.
Your mother's...
My mother's mom.
Yes, yeah.
So it was her and 7 other siblings.
Okay.
And she's the firstborn, by the way. So when she had my mom, the family was like, give her to your little sister.
Oh.
And then go back and be the breadwinner for the family.
Okay.
And that's what she did. So she took my mom, gave it to Kabo, and Kabo raised my mom. And when Kabo got married, Kabo's husband, my grandfather, whom I adore, Umpitiza, he adopted my mother.
Wow, officially.
Yes. So hence today I adopted my nephew because I grew up in that environment where there's no cousin.
We are as mixing.
Yes. So that was the environment. And hence when we had to leave that space to leave for Pretoria because that's where my mom was going to her now biological mother, because the adopted family are the ones that are feuding.
Okay. I get it.
Yes. So now she had to move to her own biological mother. So I remember waking up and stepping into meeting my actual grandmother. Yeah.
And you are Pitori. Why Pitori of all places? I wouldn't have.
No, serious. No, Pitori shaped me. Pitori made me who I am. Pitori.
It clearly means you were there long.
I was there from 2 until I was about 15 years.
That is where language is built.
Formidable years of your life. That's where your personality is.
Which part of Pretoria?
Garankua.
Yeah. Ojeria go Pitori, like proper. I don't know why I've never heard you speak that with that accent.
Really?
You clearly don't bring it out enough.
I do, to those that know me very well.
I get-
Ba bang kitsing ba itse ra wa Sonia ona le hore wa bana ntse re toloka ho le monate. Wa bana Pitori sa thaela.
Go Pitori as cherry edes. Never to bizama. Never to ring. When they
Es cherry edese. I think never pizza the sons.
No. What they would call cherry edes or again. There's a
Madonga.
Keep going. That's old.
Oh, there's a new. Okay.
It's not that new, but
Not
it's
a new Madonga.
Madonga came and
Mapara ke the guys, right?
Yes. Come on. Let me give you an indication of this thing is made of the same substance, so to speak. This even
The actual piece.
the pole, it's the same thing. Come on.
Oh, the cheapy.
It took a while.
Cheap. Yes.
Took a while.
Sorry. I don't know why I didn't arrive. I'm late. I missed my bus, but I'm here now.
True Praetorian, eh?
Yeah, it shaped me. I literally became a human being in that space.
In the Pretoria. What
Yeah.
school did you go to?
I went to Budubelo Primary School, and then I went to Lowe, and then I went to Loreto.
Like proper Pretoria. The Loreto, that's when it was becoming
It
fashionable.
became fashionable, yeah.
Proper the blazer.
Blazer, waban. Blazara.
Wait, of course. What are some of your fondest memory of Pretoria? I must tell you, I wouldn't have thought your story is a Pretoria story.
Yeah.
What are your fondest memories of that neighborhood?
I loved Ranku. I loved Pitori. What I loved also about Pitori was that it was never, or that area, it was never about being confined to one space. So we would literally find a way to Mabopani. We would literally find a way to Soshanguve.
Yeah.
You know, and then sning ning ning upeli. Sning ning ning umamelodi.
No groove almost. No groove.
And it wasn't Mugruvo, it was like Arroeta.
Yeah.
You
yes,
know?
Yeah.
So it was that. So for me, it was not confined to Garankua. So I had an opportunity to experience all the flavors of Pitori, you know.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking, because I grew up in Pretoria myself. Do you remember your first kiss? Where it happened? Could be Pitori. Because I do.
David!
I don't remember your kiss. I remember mine.
No, I just remembered mine.
Oh, you did?
Damn, I just remembered mine. There was this guy called Ananias. I hope he's still around.
Yes.
He was famous for liking girls.
Okay.
And banyana bama pondo,
Yeah.
banyana body yellow bone.
No,
Sonia wale pondo, well.
Yes.
So Ananias was very known. So we would have the nabadi bitangana, where every second weekend we would go out to model,
Okay.
like body fashion shows.
Oh yeah, those types.
Right?
Yeah.
So I started. So opposite my home,
Mm.
there was Abu Khoto, who had a choir
Okay.
called Kuwegu. It was a choir based on the church Wesel,
Yeah.
right? And it was a church. It was a church choir.
Mhm.
But now it's opposite my house, and every day have a
hear
practice
this.
like I mean,
Yeah.
and I remember just being pulled into that space, and
Wow.
because I didn't want to, you know. And my Batswana ba bolela ke re, ngwana ole wa ko bo dikwatisweng yo ke bothata ngwana ole a utlwi o tshela difense.
They were not talking about you.
No.
Talking about others.
About
Yes.
others. And I remember just thinking, I don't want to be the problematic child.
Yeah.
Where
Because
now
you
I'm
know what they
discussed-
say about them.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm listening. Tseba Roma ba tsama tshela tee ntse o tlisa go makiwe ba so.
And you're listening to
Yeah.
what?
So, but I remember thinking, I don't want to be that problematic child.
Mm.
And I walked across, I went to Abukhoto and I said, I know it's a church choir, but like, can I join?
Mm.
So then I was sheltered for a long time. I was in that space. I was the youngest in the
Wow.
choir. And then when I became into a young woman, I still had those ethics.
Yeah, they left you with those church values.
Those church values. So the best I could do to rebel was to now join the model. I don't know what they were not agencies, but like you could join, and then every weekend
there's always someone who
was organizing something, right? So then I would go to those, and that's where I met Ananias, because he was very popular just in terms of the
was he oh namodla oh yeah, what's on a jacket? I remember those things. Yeah. You were lousy.
No, but the thing is,
I can't believe
no, but the thing is, sorry guys, I'm not advertising. I was just spur of the moment. Spur of the moment. Might as well.
Yes.
So we were warned about him. Like it was like, guys, Ananias banyana wabadlali. And they're interested because he was charming. There was something about Ananias. And then I remember he like started pursuing me when we go to these competitions. And a friend of mine was like, no, I like him. Sheila was like, no, I like him. I was like, okay, no, it's fine. Go for him. And then she went for him. And then she was like, no, he's not interested in me. He says he's interested in you.
Oh.
So I was like.
She was brave enough to approach.
No, she was. And then she was like, no, he says he's interested in you. And then, and I didn't know what that was. And I remember backstage this one time, he grabbed me and then he kissed me. Right?
That's the kiss.
He was biting me. So now I have to go back on stage later on. Literally, he was and then I was swollen. And then I had to go out in the next, because now I change. I get the casual wear and then the formal wear. By the time kids the formal wear, and that was it. That was like, nah.
So your first kiss is this backstage.
Is
a bite.
It's a bite.
Anani, if you're still around, my man.
No, shame.
You missed out.
Yes, guys. And I kept on wondering, what are they liking then? What are the girls liking? He bites.
Yes, after all of that.
He's a biter.
But in terms of schooling, was there interest in that regard? Did you have, the typical growing up in the township? Because our generation, which you and I don't, it's not that far apart, is when academia mattered, when that accountant guy.
Yes, no, that, it was. For me also, I was like one of those.
Oh, yeah. So Victorian. I get fascinated by your words.
So, and me and this guy, McDuff, he was smart. And I would look up to him, right, as being the smart one, because I don't think you can gauge yourself and measure your sense of. There was a one time though when I realized that I'm actually damn smart. Okay, let me finish the Ananias story. So now, the McDuff story. Yes. So he would get number one, right? Yeah. Got this term, and then I'd be like, and then I'll get number one, got the next term, and then we would always just be competing like that. But because he was the smartest, the fact that now that I think about it, I would compete with him because it was somebody I would watch and observe and think, damn, this guy's smart, So, but when it hit me, when I realized, I guess it was when I moved schools. So now we moved from Pretoria, we moved back to Ekurhuleni, the East Rand. Jeez. Because now my mom and my dad are trying to reconcile, right? So, and now I'm the catalyst. I'm the go-between. I go visit my dad, and my dad is like, I want to see your mom. I go back to my mom, and like, he wants to see you. My mom's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's go visit him.
Really?
Yeah. I was playing matchmaking.
Yes.
So eventually we settled back in the East Rand. But fortunately, sadly, my dad passed away soon after we came back, which was a blessing because then he left us the home.
Oh, yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yes, wow.
It was a family home. It was me, my uncle, his wife,
everybody.
I think 15 people. Sleeper couch.
So you have that experience.
Yes.
In telling the story, we missed what was actually happening in the house.
So it was literally that. It was.
So you were an inconvenience when you came in.
I think so because we were plenty, and I remember it was me, and my cousin Tabseng and my cousin Tandi, and then my nephew from Durban, Mfano, and then there were the adults. So, but the kids, it was about 4, 5 of us.
And it's not the biggest house in the township.
No, it was a 4-room.
That's my point.
It was a 4-room, but we all fit in that house. And I remember this one time, my 2 aunts, Cindy and Tiny, came back and my mom was in the kitchen ironing. I remember just a heap of clothing and my mom was Ainamo welcomed over. You know, kirikubo di shiti mo tafuleng. Wa bona ditapole that you would fold.
I know. Yeah, those.
Yeah,
yes,
the transformers.
Yes.
The actual, So now I remember she was ironing and I was sitting there doing my homework. And then my aunts walked in and she was like, Cindy, Tiny, has maranya dina has. Ebusuku kangaka. Has nina nkhathali. And then they're like, Tiny, they're like, no, tell her. And then they were taking my mom through this whole story of how they went to this tavern and never the background, the turnaround skits.
I remember those.
And they were like relaying the story of how when they got there, they were hot. They were the hottest chicks in the place. And this guy who came from Joburg because number plate high Nelly Val.
Oh yes.
And they knew he's not a local because of his car registration. And then he sent drinks there in their direction. And then he was like, no, let me join your table. You know what I mean? It still happens today. Now it's happening at other places. Starting with I was about to say. I'm glad you said it. Yes. So now, literally, it's the same story where it's like they're out, they're having a good time, and then my aunt is like, "Yo, sissy, put it on a bigger manzi. From top to top,
you are overhearing this. Wow.
Sissy shirt, I knew it. Collar. Have you put it on a big much was saying I'm a cold drink. Sahlala lapha Tiny ubuthi was intercourse. I think she wanted to say was entertainer. I remember that story going, what the hell?
Why did I just hear
I should not be listening to this. Sissy, was intercourse. And at that age, I'm like, that sounds wrong.
Yeah.
That sounds right. I think I know what intercourse is.
It sounded like it was a relatively pleasant environment.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I remember just that household being a lot of fun because there was a lot of us. And people could miss through the cracks.
True.
But I was always, because of that whole, choir background, I was just always around. Hence, I was always there to experience all these stories.
I want to go to Macduff.
Yeah.
You said there's a moment where you realized you were smarter.
So yes. Oh, David, I like you. You reminded me because this is the one for the archive.
Oh, there we go. Let's hear it.
So now we moved from Pretoria, right?
Yeah.
Back to Vosloorus because
yeah.
my dad now and my mom are fixing things. So now I have to find a school. We found this school called the Institute. It was like those times they were called private schools, but they were not really.
Yeah.
Because in terms of registration.
Yeah, whether it's proper.
And there were no white people. 0 white people. So I'm like, how private is this?
I like how you say Eating pela.
I was like, how private is this?
Hey, man.
Hey.
It was private for blacks. Black
power.
For the blue. I like that. There were many of them. There was a time when there was a mushroom
of them.
All these, yeah.
So Institute,
there we go.
So Institute was the school that we found. My mom found. Okay. So now I get there day one. I remember it was Teacher Sam.
Where's the school?
It was in Germiston.
Okay, so at least in Namelatix.
No, Namelatix.
Yeah.
I think nigga changed twice.
Hey.
But nigga Namelatix, I remember.
Do you know the taxi is what defines whether it was private or not? Because you were not in the hood.
I was not in the hood. There you go.
Done.
The penny dropped.
The fact that you had to get into a taxi and leave.
Okay, David. Okay,
Done.
I see
it was private enough.
Clarity.
You know.
So I get there, it's day one. It was Teacher Sam.
Okay.
Can't remember her surname, but everybody called her Teacher Sam. She's like, class, I just want to introduce a new student. Her name is Sonia Mbele. She's joining us this term because it was after the April holiday.
Oh, yes. Oh, you were a little late.
I was
Just a little late. Yeah.
So I come in then and then she's like, you had 3 weeks at home. Hope you had fun. But remember, I gave you homework before we left. Abule Boti. Like 10 questions. It's like it was an English homework essay. It wasn't an essay. It was questions and answers.
Okay.
So she's like, can I please have? Come on, guys.
Oh, so they have
back
to
into
answer.
the class. Yeah.
Oh, so what the homework was
to
research.
go home, research, and then come back.
Yeah.
So now she's like, first question. Can I have the answer to the first question? Waga. And then I go. She goes, oh, new student. Do you have a question? I'm like,
no, I have an answer. You're the student we hated.
Yes, no, they did. Eventually they did. And so I started after the April holidays. By October was a prefect. And then the second question, she's like, okay, answer. And then I give an answer. And then she goes, right, that is right.
Oh, no.
Okay, come on. Second question.
Everybody?
Anybody? I'm like,
and
she's like, you have a question this time, right? I'm like, answer. So she gave up. After that, she was like,
you didn't even
no,
know
it was on the board, but I had the answers. And then she was like, okay, never mind. What's the point? Never mind.
Yeah,
take out your books. Let's read.
Sonia, you don't answer.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Yeah. And then they couldn't understand the sonnets. I had to read them and break them down to them because certain words were tricky, but then I would explain to the class. So literally I would go from group to group and then I'd be like, okay, guys, this is what's happening. We were reading a book called The Great Gatsby.
Wow.
And
was that in the curriculum?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a tough book. It's quite involved. It's intricate, right? How he met this wealthy man, inherited his monies, but before he went to war, he fell in love with this woman. And then when he came back, she was married. He bought a house across.
That's it. They could see.
He could see through. So they didn't get it. So I had to literally tell the story as if it was a movie.
Help me understand this. Was it because of where you had been?
I think
would you credit
McDuff. I think McDuff trained me. I think McDuff definitely trained me to just be always on my toes and know everything about everything.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So yeah. So when I was telling them this, because they didn't get it, they were like, this book. And they didn't understand the times and New York is New York, but it's island across. But it's still New York. How?
Wow, man. That says a lot about getting a competitive environment.
Yeah.
You know, I was traveling in Pretoria with Shakes the other day, 2 days ago.
Can I grab some water?
Yeah, go right ahead. Your water for the record. And we were driving past not the Union building. What is the Reserve Bank? And I remember telling Shakes that when I was a kid, I dreamed of working in that building. It was my dream. Why? Because it was just a cool building. It was a tall building and I knew accountants and economists were in there. Probably why I studied economics. And I remember saying, it's the environment that really shapes us.
It really does.
There's a lot of those.
Really
of things around you, then they make you want to be a part of that life.
Yeah. For me, I think the church girl thing for me was major. Because even when I was at that school, at Institute, I was always the one that is studying to a point where it would be a break and then I'm still taking my books and I'm putting them in their suitcase so that I leave it zipped and everyone they've left their books on the counter, on the desks, they're gone. And then by the time I walk up, my friends, I'd be like, hey, wait for me. They're like, no, you'll find us outside. And by the time I go outside, they're gone.
Yeah, what?
And then I would spend the entire break looking for them. And then one day, this one person was like, Sonia, about Doja. About Doja, they are running away from you. Because like you said, they tend to hate you, right? So they were friends, but
they were not. They didn't really like you.
They didn't fuck with me.
And it was the academia. There was a schooling the fact that crack.
You know what I mean? And for me, it wasn't my fault.
For the record, crack means you're the smartest kid in class.
A bit of a genius.
Well, yeah. Crack, I don't know where they got that.
Yeah.
Was there a naughty side to Sonia in your youth? The one that, and I say this because as a rebellious streak inside your genes. The one that wanted to do things that she was not allowed to do.
You know, funny enough, I think I've always been a good girl. I remember same school, you go to the toilet, they've written about someone, carved their name, some Joyce. Under the tree.
That's at this new school.
This new school. And we're to a point where sometimes they've carved everything upside down. You must do that to read what are they saying. And I just remember sitting.
I saw myself doing.
Yeah, no, I saw you too.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there and thinking, I will never be this girl that gets written about behind toilet doors.
Yeah.
Like I will never. And so I think I've tried to, even in my dating life, there was an article asking people to pray for me to find me a man. I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm good.
Grand, yeah.
Sharp. So even my dating life till today, you'll never get somebody saying they were with Sonia because it's not a thing, you know.
Maybe it is in some circles.
No. It was never a thing. So to a point, if somebody claims me, I'll confront them because it's like, no, dude, like when, what time? Let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't know your numbers.
No.
Wow. So there was none of that.
No, it's weird. I met this guy in 2019. So okay, I met my first ex-husband at 17, 26 when I broke up with him. 28, I met my ex-husband, Leslie.
Yeah.
And then we divorced in 2014. So chunk of my life I was committed.
Pretty much. There was none of these.
No. But I met this guy, long distance relationship, and I remember I was telling him the story about my dating life, and like until the day we broke up, he was like, "Sonia, there's no ways. Come on, you women, we men exaggerate the numbers. You women
hide the numbers,
minus the numbers." I was like,
I didn't know that.
I was like, listen. It's true. And the fact that he was not South African, he found it extremely hard to believe. He was like, I hear you. I see you're a good girl, but I don't know. Hey. Yeah.
What happens to this high school? Wapasa? Is there any other interests?
So
because now there was a singer in Pretoria that now is no longer in the choir.
Yes. But during that time, for some reason, you're encouraged to write essays, right? You're encouraged to write poems. Then I'm starting to realize that I'm actually kind of not bad, even in the storytelling and in poems. And I remember starting to write musical lyrics. Okay. There's a song that I wrote.
Yeah. This is
I was 14.
This is an original.
It's an original.
Okay.
I was 14 and I still remember the lyrics. I'm not going to try and sing it. I'm going to try and say it.
Okay, let's hear it.
There's a man walking down the street. I can see him. Ooh, yeah. His name is Machapula, but they call him Sugar Daddy because uyadlisa.
Whoa. You realize that? You realize that is a quite to hit.
Yes.
Slash bubble gum.
Slash bubble gum.
There was a
because the hook was like they call him Sugar Daddy. They call him Sugar. So I see Bessie Pakela there.
I can hear
Ellie Rebecca Malope.
Actually, even Ellie Brenda Fassie.
Even Ellie Brenda Fassie. Yes. So yeah, man, it has always been there. I've never sang the song to anybody before, by the way. Thank you, David. You're welcome.
Amitsari Tapula. It would have been a hit. You would have been
a hit. I think so. I think I slept on the job.
Actually, what does it say about missed opportunities? Surely it says something.
I know, right? I feel like I should have, but there's certain things that I concede to. Like I'm not a TV presenter. I'm not good at it.
Have you ever had a?
I tried. I've actually auditioned for Top Billing.
What?
I know.
You did that whole.
I know that. Hi, good evening, South Africa. My name is Sonia Mbele, and welcome to Top Billing. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
What was it about it that just wasn't?
I don't know. It was just like I felt I wasn't myself.
What did they say? What reaction did you get? Because I know they can be quite harsh.
And I think for me, because it wasn't the only presenting gig that I busted, that I couldn't book, I decided, okay.
It's fine.
And then I started getting insecurities. Then I was like, okay.
I'm not going to these things.
I'm going to stick to acting. So, yeah, but singing was never a thing for me that I know that I was a fan of. There was a time when it was either Brenda Fassie or Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Like, you couldn't be in the middle.
Which one did you choose?
Brenda.
You and many people.
Any day. But, however, today, I admire Yvonne. Like, just staying power, just all of that. I think we were excited by the hype, but now I respect the woman. I don't know if now that I'm a woman myself.
Yes. You get it.
Now I get it. Now I'm like, okay, Sis Yvonne, sorry. I see what you were trying to do there.
we all chose Brenda.
Yeah.
You know, Sis Yvonne, we love you.
We love you.
We liked the...
Yes, man. Brenda, I won.
I grew older to realize that why the hell do we take sides?
I know.
What's wrong with human beings?
It was crazy. It was like you had to choose.
The only side I'm willing to take is soccer teams. The rest, you guys are fine. I'm from Pretoria, from Mamelodi.
I know.
I'm a Sundowns fan through and through. I can't help myself. I say this often on this channel. Anyway, let's go back. What school do you do after school? As in after high school? What do you plan?
After high school, I went to Demlin.
Okay.
To go study PR. I actually did banking initially.
There was a time when those things were...
Yes. PR and marketing.
Yes.
So I did that. And then while I was at Demlin, I was like, nah, I think I need to join an agency. And while I was at Demlin, I was also working at True Words, Ilof.
Okay.
And then I got discovered there. Somebody walked in and they were like, do you model? I was like, no, I'm not. They're like, yeah, you're too short to be a model. However, you can do TV commercials.
Wow.
So they were like, call me. It happened to be Gano Becker.
Wait a minute. The popular Gano casting.
Mm-hmm. So
Gano does that. Like, spotted people in the street.
Yes. Then I joined Gano's. On a Wednesday, by Friday, I had booked my first TV commercial.
And what happens to the ambitions then of wanting to be in PR or whatever it is that you do?
I was doing that for my family because when I said I want to be an actress and things like that, they were like, not on our watch.
Yeah.
So get something to fall back on.
Oh, hell. Yes, you have go study. Did you ever finish that?
I did. I gave them the certificate.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Bye.
What was your first commercial?
It was a Beacon chocolate called Triple Whammy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might not remember the lines. No. Did you have lines? Or was it...
No, it was cutesy with the chocolate.
Holding it.
Yeah, swirls of chocolate, swimming in milk.
Well, do you know that there's still a billboards in certain townships?
Of the surf commercial?
Yeah. Till today.
They don't want to pay me.
Till today.
They don't want to pay me.
Those billboards still there.
I've been fighting.
Very, very young Sonia Mbele. Mm-hmm. Like you can tell it's many years ago.
That's why I'm like, of the surf TV commercial. Mm-hmm.
You know that project.
I thought I would go. I asked people to take pictures because the agency were like, no, they're all down. And if somebody says they see it, I'm like, take a picture with the date.
Look, you know what? They probably...
Royalties. I want my royalties.
I'll tell you this much, though, in their defense, and allow me for a second. The campaign is long done.
Royalties.
Les Paza Shop hasn't removed it because they don't have data.
That's not my problem. If I'm still featuring there.
And there's a SEP brand next to you.
I want my royalties. Pay me my money.
Jeez. What happens to the acting? It takes shape.
Oh, it took shape. And that's my first love. I love acting. I love
Gano is great, though.
Gano was great. Gano was amazing. But I moved from Gano to Legends.
Okay.
But Legend was by Lisa, who was one of Gano's bookers.
Okay. Decided.
It was like a growth.
Became EFF.
Passing on the bet.
Became EFF. Yeah, okay. I take that back, comrade. I withdraw my comment.
Sorry, Lise.
Was it a hostile movement? It was a...
I don't know. It wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't seem like
it was like, spread your wings.
Okay.
And fly. So I moved on with Legends. And yeah, man, it got to a point though where people would call me directly, and they call me directly, I do my own bookings and now I still have to pay the percentage for.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. So that's when then I started having like brand manager, somebody who would then follow up on the calls and the requests that I get, and then I invoice personally.
At
and
least
I
you pay them. Yeah. And it's a salary. It's, yeah.
Yes.
Wow. And has that worked? Do you still operate
it works
like
for
that?
me. Yeah, it works for me. I mean, that's how I worked. That's the process that we followed. Dumi is my executive assistant and brand manager. That's the process that we used when I was approached for Blood and Water for Netflix.
What?
So I got an email. Are you interested? I said, Dumi, run with it.
A running theme on this show is auditions versus getting a phone call.
Yeah.
And I realized when I talk to older actors, they still say, we audition.
Yeah.
And these are people who've been here forever and ever.
I don't mind auditioning, especially if it's a production company that is new. They don't really know me. But, Eben Bro, please.
You know me.
Red Pepper, don't you dare. Quizzical pictures, no.
But if they called you for one?
Look, I don't mind auditions. I still
It doesn't
go.
bother you.
No,
really.
Look, I still go though. I still go.
Yeah.
Purely because I know that it's not a cattle call. It's not me and 5,000 other people.
I was about to
probably
ask.
me and Connie.
I was about to ask. Have you been in that situation?
Between me and Connie. It's always between me and Connie.
Oh no.
But it's funny how I followed her. Our lives are super paralleled. It's the craziest thing. She started TV commercials. I started on TV commercials. Then she presented a kiddie show. I presented a kiddie show. She was in Soul City. I was in Soul City. Generations.
And
She's producing and producing. So
it's been like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And do you continue doing more commercial work in that stage of your life?
Not now. I'm not because now TV commercial, unless if it's you're paying me 5 million. The only TV commercial I'll do is for Alchemax.
Hey.
Thank you very much. So I don't do TV commercials now because then the money does not make sense. Yeah.
But back then, as a child, did you do many of those?
I did about 90 TV commercials in my career, both locally and internationally.
You became a star.
I did.
You brought in the cash.
I did. I bought my first car cash.
Wow. And you were still relatively young, I assume.
I was young. I was young, but I needed a car to go to auditions and you know what I mean? For me, I took it very seriously. So I couldn't take the taxi where the auditioning, and then it was like that road map that you bought at the garages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where you have to page through. Yes. So I wasn't going to do that in a taxi. Not a good look. Not cute.
Yeah, and you're this girl who's on TV. Did you start seeing the fame happen?
It was very much, I think the Vodacom ad, the Vodacom, the
Remind me? Oh, yeah. Wow.
With the shopping parcel.
Oh, yes.
That was the one that literally just,
wow,
broke boundaries for me.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
That's where you became a star.
I think so. I think that's when I became recognized.
And the family, what was the reception of this young girl who's becoming famous?
My mom, funny enough, as much as she was like, I don't know if you want to go study drama, but my mom has been supportive from day one till today. So I think that kind of helped because my mom has just always been my anchor, the person that's giving me my wings to soar. I know it sounds like a cliche, but my mom has always been there.
Do you consider yourself a child star? Was it still young in your life?
It's a tricky one. I don't think so because I was already young woman phase.
Okay.
And I remember there was a time when I would do magazine covers and TV interviews and they'd call me an it girl. And I remember being bothered by it.
Okay.
I did an article with one of those, I think it wasn't Bonner, it was one of those soul magazines, those old olden day ones. And they were like, well, how do you feel about being the it girl? And I was like, I don't like that phrase. I don't like it because I feel like if you're it today, you might not be it tomorrow.
Yeah, you understood that already.
Yeah.
That
Iyaphela also. And also, I just think it's hype. It's hype that you don't necessarily need.
Yeah.
Right? So And I remember being irritated by that. But obviously, in retrospect, it makes a lot of sense. I wasn't going to be a flash in the pan. And I think that's what I was connecting into my future. I was connecting into
the bigger...
the longevity of how I wanted my career to unfold. So, yeah.
I'm curious to because the itness is how South Africa runs. We're in a lot of spaces, even in politics. There's a flavor. Our music is a flavor. You go to and I'll use the States as an example because we relate so much with their music because of how they pretty much colonized our culture. We find that in South Africa, kwaito, then. And there's something that comes.
Yes.
It happens in music. It happens in people, in famous
fads,
people.
in clubs in this country.
There you go.
Like there's one mushrooming every season.
That's it. What do you think that is based on what your experience of it?
I don't know. I just think South Africans, we are movers. I think we like movement.
Yes.
Hence during COVID, we were out there screaming COVID. When people were catching it, we were screaming it. We
were doing other things related to it. We were recording stuff.
We were laughing at it. So I think South Africans in general, we are South Africans. How can I describe you? Talk to me. I think we don't take things seriously. I just think we are just like, it's okay.
I sometimes worry
it
about
is well.
that, though, I'll be honest. Because there's a lot of things we need to take serious.
No, there is, but we don't. So you make peace with it to a point where I'm like, and for me, how I keep saying, I don't live in social media streets at all. So when something happens, I always find out about it like a month later.
Well,
literally, because I'd be like, as much as I surround myself with young people, and I say this to them every day, do me, when something happens, send me the clip, forward, do what my Wabungani does. Just flood me with stuff so that I discover, then I'm current. Because then I'll be like, I'll discover something, they'll be like, no, it happened a month ago.
You are very late.
No, I'm always late. And I don't like it because then...
In today's world, a month is a lifetime.
Please, it's a lifetime.
Jeez.
I found out about the Will Smith slap.
Wait a minute.
I promise you. I found out about it 3 weeks later. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? They were like, huh?
Why are you like that with social media?
I don't want to pollute my space, my mindset. I don't read the news. I don't watch the news.
Okay.
I don't read newspapers. I don't visit social media platforms. I don't like the noise.
And you don't feel like you're losing out?
No. I actually feel nothing. I just don't like the noise.
Yeah. It can be quite loud.
Yeah. I just like being in my own space, doing my own thing. I think that when I'm focused in that, then I'm aware what's missing here. Because I'm not looking out there and wondering what's
going on. So,
hence, I can recognize it's okay, Sonia, it's time now to get into
this
scripted.
Yes,
you know what I mean? I want to produce scripted formats, and like you said, I create my own formats. So now, hence, I can say to somebody, sorry, I already have backlog of my own.
True.
I don't want to make empty promises, and then now you're waiting
because your time is not consumed by.
Yes.
Do you do that with your kids as well? Do you?
Yes.
Safeguard them from that world?
I try, but it's not easy. It's not easy. However, I'm present also at home because I co-parent. So we do 1 week in, 1 week out.
How does that work?
I'm used to it now. There was a time when it was torture, but I'm used to it now. It's okay.
How does it work exactly? 1 week.
So look, I understand it. I understand it. It's because they're both our kids. And it wouldn't be fair if they stayed with one and not with the other.
Okay.
So we do half times a year.
Literally.
50-50. 50-50.
You can do 6 months. 1 week it sounds like it's work.
It was, especially because when they were younger at the time. But now that, Kumo is 14, Musa is 11. Now it's it's okay.
It works.
But Musa was 2 at the time.
That's tricky.
It was tricky. It was hard. Oh, it was hard. I would literally, the day they leave, I would need company.
Oh no!
Because if I'm by myself, you never know. I might not wake up the next day. It was depressing. It was very bad.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the depressing stuff.
No, please, let's not.
Yet.
Stop it.
Yes.
David.
Because I want to talk about your amazing career. I look at the stuff that you've done. I can't keep track. I tried. Look at how it's 90 odd commercials. So that people would recognize you in other countries in commercials that we've never seen probably. Your first TV big break, what was that? Let's not call it a big break. First gig. Because you said Kiddies TV.
Yeah, so I presented one of the Kiddies shows. But it didn't last. It was one of those, come with the girls and boys.
Oh, those.
Yes.
Yes.
But it didn't last. And then and the reason why it didn't last is because I got a gig and I had to leave.
Okay.
So I think that gig for me was Pamukate.
Okay.
So that was like first time on television as an actress. But I remember Soul City for me was major.
Yeah.
Soul
City
was
major for a lot of careers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Soul City for me was like Soul City called. Soul City called and I auditioned and I killed it. So for me that was like, wow, okay.
Jeez.
And then obviously Generations, I auditioned and I was like, I was good.
Did you understand the size of Generations before?
Yes. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. Is because when I auditioned, the first time they offered me like 5-part role.
Okay.
And I said to my agent, I don't want it.
Whoa.
And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, no, it's going to waste my career. I will wait for that gig. I will wait for that big break. And I waited. I think 2 years came by. And then
what? So when you said no to that,
it was, yeah.
You literally lost.
It was for me to come and be Junior's girlfriend.
Okay.
Junior was Fezile Mbele.
Oh, that era. Yes.
So they wanted me to play Junior's girlfriend. It was like 5 calls. And I said no.
You had the understanding of a possible wasted casting.
Because 5 calls and then what? Because
they can't call you again.
They can't call me again for the big one. So, and I recognize that. Hence, I've always had foresight. Oh, Sonia means wisdom, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow, because that's I'm thinking for one to think that way.
Yeah.
And who says no to Generations?
But it's because I knew that I wanted more from Generations.
Oh, okay.
And my mentality, it wasn't arrogance, but it was like, they need me.
Whoa. Yeah. And not now. That's a brave young girl.
Yeah.
Were you a working actress at the time? Or you were
I've always been working. I think once I started in the industry, I never looked back.
Yeah.
So I waited and then they auditioned for the Julia Modene character.
Okay.
And I went and auditioned for it. But I didn't get it. Olile Shabalala did, and she did an amazing job with it. Oh my goodness. And the reason why I didn't get it, what my agent told me at the time was that I didn't look like I could be a mother to Angela and Jonathan.
Was it you? You looked.
I didn't look like I could be.
Okay.
I could I'd been petite.
A motherly figure.
Right?
Yeah.
So that role went to Oli.
Yeah.
And she killed it. And then because of that role, they parked me and put me on a retainer.
What?
For 5 months while they were creating the Ntombi character.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So what you saw actually happened.
Yeah.
And it happened in the most spectacular way.
Yeah.
That they said,
on retainer.
They paid you.
They paid me.
So you don't appear.
Stay home, yeah.
You don't appear
while
anywhere.
They were creating the Ntombi character.
Wow. TV shows do that?
They did that for me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a big moment. Surely you must have felt it. Okay.
Look, I'm spirit led, right? Even till today, if my spirit says no, if I'm unsettled, then it's not. Yeah. So I try and manifest things. Even with Inamba, I watched the movie and I was like, if they did a sequel, I would love to be in it.
Yes.
But then they did a series, and then I was in it. So I connect on a spiritual level to something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then
I loved Number by the way.
yes,
I've watched it so many times.
yeah.
I know Warren's lines.
He was on another. Yo, he was on another level.
You know, it's one of those. There you go. Warren's lines. I know Israel's lines.
That's the one. That's the one.
Damn it, my brain is frozen now. There's a part where he goes on a rant as well, and it sounds like that.
Yes,
like,
no. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you watched it and thought I could do.
When I watched the movie, I was like, I connected to it.
Yeah,
I connected to it. I was like, oh, if they did a sequel, I would love to be in it. And then they did the series, and I was sent in that direction.
So yes, life of a early generation actress at the beginning of your career at Generations.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? What do you notice immediately? Not the behind the scenes, but the life that comes with this.
Oh, David, I always say I've been in the entertainment industry, and I was known, but I became famous with Generations. There was a difference.
Yeah.
So I was known.
You're familiar.
I was familiar with other people, or
Ooh yeah.
maybe actually. But with Generations, I literally. So I always say I had at the time. I think I had been in the industry for a couple of years, and I remember saying, I remember being on Generations. So what we shoot was we would shoot something 3 months. So what people would watch on TV would be something we shot 3 months
long ago. Yes.
Yeah. So when I started on Generations and I had a radio interview and they were asking me, how do you feel? It had been 6 months. And I was like, I've been in the industry for that long, but I've been famous for 6 months. Do you know what I mean?
Because it changed
Because
everything.
it literally changed everything. I got mobbed when I went. Like, I remember going to the rain show.
Yes. Because SABC would have a stand,
appearances,
and then people would come in and go.
We driving. We are on that main road. I can smell. Smell the rain show. I'm like, it's there, and so it's traffic obviously because then everybody's headed that way, and then we park at the robot, and then there was like a Kumbi minibus. And then they would get out.
Oh, yeah, much Iva. Yeah, I know those things.
Yes. And then one went, I had to wait a minute. That's in Ntombi. Told the entire bus. Everybody got up. They were literally making the car, shaking the car like this. And my son was a baby. He was screaming. The car was like this. It was one of those rides. I felt like I was in one of those rides.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the career of a generation superstar.
I had a gig so luckily for me, I was blessed. I would get booked to be a judge for pageants and speaker appearances, and for some reason East London loved me. You would think KZN. East London, like, they loved me. Jeez. Eastern Cape, they just loved Ntombi. And I remember saying to them, guys, I need bodyguard. And they laughed.
You don't understand.
No, they laughed. They were like, guess what? Utufuna bodyguards.
And you got
them. Utufuna bodyguards. They didn't get them. They literally had to phone the local police chief and they said, send us some people.
Yeah.
Just send us people.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what happens to your brain of a famous person? Do you look at yourself and say, I shit gold? You should.
One would think you would, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like, come on, Sonia, duh. But I just don't let the hype. It's because, again, I feel like I'm doing what I'm doing for a higher reason. I said I'm spirit-led. So I'm aware that it can't be me.
Yeah.
Can't be my doing. Think about it.
That's important.
Like that fame, that amount of fame. I, as Sonia, I'm not capable.
That girl, I'm
not capable. So I recognize that it's a higher power. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Yeah.
Does that reason come with a sense of duty?
Yes. 100%. Hence, I'm saying when I moved from in front of the camera to the behind the camera, it was literally a deal with God to say, I want to be the change I want to see. Let me make a difference, because then I know what needs to be done. So let me do it from...
Is it the stories that matter? What the stories you want to tell? Or changing the industry?
The industry.
Yeah.
For me, it's a combination of both, but the industry has a long way to go. The industry has to change as soon as yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many young kids who dream of the fame that you had, and you're saying, wait, we need to change things.
Things need to change.
Yeah.
Things need to change first. Like, we're not going to go anywhere if things don't change from the root.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that's my mission. And also, I think my another ministry, if I were to call it that, or mandate, is to now open the industry. So now it's my turn to make other people famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lasted a while at Generations.
I did, yeah.
Your story, was there ever a time where you just got exhausted of this environment?
I know. I actually loved it. So at Generations, there was two parts about it. There was the getting in there and then interacting with the people. Right?
Makeup guys.
And hair. There was that. And then there was in front of the camera. So the interaction with the people, that's what exhausted me.
Oh, yes.
So I had to find a mechanism because there was a lot. And we would go to functions and then we would come back and then there was a lot of gossip. There
are too many people.
Oh,
too many
there was
people.
a lot of gossip.
There are too many famous people.
Yeah, and then we go to events and we see things and we watch things and then there was shui and then so there was a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I learned to sit on the makeup chair and switch off. So I don't remember being made up because I would sleep during that time.
Oh, you would.
Because I don't want to hear it. Because you know
it.
what you end up doing? I know! I was there!
Oh, yeah.
I saw them, you know?
You're a part of it.
I couldn't. Every day for 9 years.
It's too much.
Oh, no. I couldn't, David. I couldn't. So I learned to literally sit on that makeup chair, switch off, fall asleep, and I would be waking up when it's done.
It's time to go.
Every day.
Did you make friends? As in long-term friends? Because being around, I made friends in radio because I've been around it for so long.
Yeah. And I can see why you would.
Why would I?
Because you're a gent. You guys are easy.
I guess.
I learned very early in my career that whatever friendship I make with whoever that's in the industry, and it was very quick. That lesson came very quickly. I did have friends. I did.
In the industry.
Yeah. But then I realized that we are going for the same gig. And one of us is going to get it. And most of the time, it was always me.
Yeah.
And then it would cause tension. So I learned very early in life that, nah.
You don't need
the
burden that comes with this.
Yeah. So I made friends, yes, but it was always the makeup artists.
Oh.
Wardrobe people, camera guys.
So they became your...
Till today.
You hang out
after hours. After hours. And also they would tip me and be like, Sonia, this is your good side. So when you must always, when you are angry, don't be must always...
That's nice to have people who have your back.
Yeah. So yes, I did make friends, but it wasn't what you think. It wasn't the people in front of the camera.
Yeah.
It was always the people behind the camera.
And in terms of the environment of Generations, was it? You say it was bickering and a lot of gossips.
It was, for me. It was just, and when I found myself participating.
You did at some point.
Yes. Because you can't help it. And then I found myself participating and then I would go home and I'd be like, oh.
I shouldn't have.
I shouldn't have, you know.
Oh, no.
So I had to find a way. And for me, switching off was what helped me last that long. I don't think I would have otherwise.
Does Generations still do the same for careers, even now, in your opinion?
Look, I don't watch. Unfortunately.
No, but in terms of what you observe, is there a show that does that to careers? Like it did? If a young kid today...
I think so. I think The Wife is doing that, isn't it?
Okay.
I think right now The Wife is it. I know that The River also at some point.
Yes. Isibaya.
Isibaya. Oh, yes. That started it all, actually, in terms of these telenovelas. So I think telenovelas are...
Still have a...
Yes, I think there's room. However, I just think... they've become stale.
I was about to ask, what is it about?
It's the same writers.
Yeah. What is it about telenovelas that one worked, two seem like Zinogba wobbly at some point?
Yeah, I just think, and I think it's the same story also because it's the same writers. I think.
Yeah.
I think
it's the same story of what story is the telenovela? It's the story of love, story of betrayal.
Okay, so I know when I go pitch, every time. Okay, let me not make it about me. When we go pitch, there's a brief that you're given.
Yes.
And you're told that, remember who your target audience is. Your target audience is Lindiwe, who's 26, who is living with Ukoko in the back room and has 2 babies by 2 different baby daddies. And she doesn't have control of the remote. Gogo does, because Gogo's the one that is paying with the grant money. And now, if we are all told who our target audience is, then we all cater for that target audience. I think that for me, that's the bottom line. Drops Mike. I don't know what to say after that.
That's it. The story will end up this way.
It will, because then you are all catering for this particular Lindiwe.
Yeah.
You know?
Who doesn't have control. She's stuck on SABC 1. We're not moving.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an interesting one. We observe listeners like that on radio, but I didn't realize how narrow TV can be in South Africa.
Yeah.
Has the introduction of Abo Showmax and so forth done a lot for South African television?
I'm hoping that that's the case, purely because, like I said earlier, I'm still knocking on those doors. So I don't know if I doubt it's a personal thing, but I would like a foot in. Because then I'll be able to answer. I'll be able to say, oh yeah,
Yes,
I've
it's
knocked on that
done
door. The
that.
door has opened and I'm here, I'm there. So because I'm standing outside looking in, it's kind of hard for me to answer that question.
And being on a Netflix show, what has that done for you? Anything at all?
So I'm on the Netflix show as an actress, right? I got called and I went to go perform. But because it's not out yet, because the series, the 3rd season of Blood and Water is coming out in October. I'm yet to understand what
comes with it.
I'm hopeful though. I'm hopeful. I hope it's
what type of hope do you have?
I hope it's positive. I hope it's, now that they see me on their platform, then they
they'll say,
oh, give that poor girl a chance. Because it's not like I haven't submitted my stuff.
No, you have. Yes. Yeah. I remember memorizing people talking. Sonia's coming up with the housewives. There was a conversation about that stuff. How was that? What inspired that, Jenny, first of all? Or that idea?
So it's an existing format.
Of course, yes.
It's an NBC Universal format.
And the Atlanta ladies are doing exceptional.
And I'm a fan.
Yes.
Right? And then I watch. And then I go to these functions because I happen to know these women. Okay. South African version of these women.
Of these type of women.
These type of women. Whoa. They invite me to their homes. Our children play together. Their husbands play golf together. We go to church together. But then we go home and party together. And then I would watch and I'd be like, where are the cameras? Where are the cameras? Yes. People need to see this. Wow. And so I think mostly it was that. It was being in that world, in that space, and just wondering, why are we not capturing this?
A format like that, is it bought? Since it belongs...
Yes, it's an NBC Universal format. So they have the rights, right? And then MultiChoice licenses the rights. Yes.
And then gives it to someone to produce it.
Yes. So, but it was reversed. I approached NBC Universal. NBC Universal. It was in 2013 at the time. Yes. But we were not ready. So
what was unready about?
I don't know. South Africa wasn't ready.
For
reality.
That type of show.
Yeah. The days before being Bonang, before living the life of Somi. So it was...
But it was many years into the Kardashians.
It was, but also it wasn't... I don't think the Kardashians resonate with everyone.
That's true.
If you know what I mean.
No, that's
so
true.
It was that. It was...
It hadn't established itself.
No.
Yeah.
So when I went in 2013, it didn't come together. And in 2017, I regrouped. I was like, okay, let's try again.
I want to do it again.
Yes. So I went to NBC Universal. NBC Universal said, yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then I went to Channel. And then Channel was like, okay, great. And then Channel then started talking to NBC to say, Sonia has pitched an idea and we would like to get the rights. Yes.
And it worked. You produced it.
Sonia is your fairy godmother. And Bob is your uncle.
The most common question you get about reality shows is if they're scripted. I think they are, and I think they should be. But maybe you'll give a different answer to that. I think they should be. Those
So
look at how serious you get.
No. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. Hands on deck. It is planned.
Okay.
It is not scripted. You can't. They're not actors.
You can't script uti umshaye when that you don't know.
Because they will say "bateng imshaye," right? Come on.
Okay.
So it's planned. So we tap into their life calendars. You know what's happening in your life for the next 3 months.
True.
We come in.
Good sense of it.
Yeah.
Or you create events, so to speak. I say, yes, I was planning to go to Durban in 2016. Let's do it now.
It is their life calendar. So I give you an example. One of the cast members is launching a skincare range.
Okay.
And then one is launching a clothing line. And then one is
opening a shop.
Yes. And then we tap into that. But we bring our cast members to that event.
You see, this is planned, not writing.
It's not writing.
Yes.
There was that event. You were going to invite 50 of your friends. We are just bringing our cast member. While 50 of your friends are having a party, an actual party, we are in our corner filming our stuff. Yes.
I remember an episode of Real Housewife for Atlanta. This one was learning how to dance or doing a dance thing. And then suddenly all these people are starting to come. I said, not in real life. In real life, I go and do my boxing.
And that's part of the planning.
I realize that now when you say it. That,
when you say scripted is like,
word for word,
line for line. Yes. So with them is that there's an event. Go to the event, but now talk about your one that's coming. Because you know you are launching a book. And then while we are here, I'm like, oh, guess what, David? I'm launching a book. Would you like to come?
Do you inspire drama? Do you like drama?
I try not to.
Okay.
Personally, hence when the ladies fought last season with the cancelled season, the show got cancelled. Because
it was even unnatural for you.
Yeah, because then I would sabotage myself to that extent, I don't think. You know what I mean? So it was quite shocking when it happened. It was like, oh, what just happened? But I always say 5, 6, 7 strong personalities.
Yeah, there'll always be something. And so that means the casting is equally as important.
It has to be.
How did you find them? And not even one by one.
I live in their world.
You live in their world.
Yeah.
So were there some that you came now, but you're the perfect one? You didn't even have to audition.
No, I live in their world. I was like, come, you want to come again? Yeah.
I was called to be a part of a reality show once. I said no.
It's the way you said it for me.
No, yeah. And it's now, very recently. I was trying to be matchmade with someone.
Young, famous and African.
No, not even. I wouldn't
I think they're young, number one.
She's just so mean. You're such a meanie in that regard.
I'm not. It's the truth. Are they young?
No, they're not. They're not.
Yes.
Would you do more of this type of format? Do you enjoy it?
I do. I enjoy producing. And this format is the most difficult, by the way.
It looks easy when you watch it.
David.
What are the challenges?
Where do I begin? It's tough. It's very tough to produce. It's daily. Things change every day. It's 7 personalities, wrangling personalities. There's duty of care. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning from that phone call because now, when I got home, my dog was bitten by a cat.
Yeah,
and now
my life has changed.
My life has changed. Now I must be like, okay, guys, let's think. We are going to a vet tomorrow.
We have to arrange with the vet.
We have to arrange with the vet. Oh, so it just changes all. There are too many moving parts and they move at the same time. But it's fun. And I always say this to people, even cast members. I'm like, because we manifest things. So if you walk into it with anxiety, it's not going to be fun for you.
No.
You're going to be stressing. You're going to think everybody's sabotaging you. You're going to be looking around and saying what when people are talking, like what did you say? You know what I mean? So you can't do a reality show if you are high-strung, paranoid, have trust issues.
You have to be calm.
You have to be calm. But also, number one, don't take it seriously. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. Let's go launch books.
Because there's always an event of some sort also as well.
Yeah.
Wow, man. I think for you to cut your teeth in that space, it's quite amazing.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy. It's still not.
Yeah.
But I always say, if anyone can do it, this girl can. Because like you said, I have a sense of rebellion.
No, yeah, there is a rebellion streak inside.
Yeah.
You go, let's do it.
Man, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Who did you get from your personality, daddy or mommy? What did you get from?
Definitely mommy.
What did you get from her?
Feistiness.
Okay.
My mom is a comrade. When I said she was adopted by Umpitiza, Babungwenya, he was the biggest comrade Kuruleni, and Wamkhablisa, and she khabulat full on.
She became a Kaida.
No, my mom is a Kaida. My mom is when there's a project, whether they're building a hospital, a taxi rank, she leads. She's the leader of that project and makes sure that the equal amount of people from Forcelores are employed, and that it's balanced, it's male.
She's
and
still like that
till today.
What?
She's a board member at most of the hospitals in Ekurhuleni.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, Mam Zandi is the one.
Yeah,
Mam Zandi she's holding the Forcelores community together. But I think it comes from way back when, because Kokabo, the woman that raised her, was a matron in my police station.
Okay.
Which means she was responsible for running the local prisons. So she would make sure that the prisoners eat. So she would get those tenders before the tender.
Wait before tenders. During apartheid. She got apartheid tenders. Yeah. Imagine that.
Imagine that. So she would make sure that we as a family wake up at 4:00 in the morning. We cook porridge for the prisoners. We deliver it at the police station, and then while you're delivering, you take requests because somebody got arrested last night. The family doesn't know. They need toothbrushes, they need washing cloths, they need soaps, they need that.
That is a tender.
We get the addresses of the prisoners, and then we go. I was 5. We would go and then go knock on the door, like, sorry, your son, your daughter's been arrested. They want you to come and see them. They're appearing at the court on such and such a date. And here's do you know what I mean? And then, but we would do breakfast, we would do lunch, we would do supper every single day. So I come from a family of strong women, women who are formidable, women who are movers and shakers. And my mom is the same. Like, mention Mama Zandi's name in Forcelores. Everybody knows who she is.
And they don't know because Umamaga.
No.
She's got her own.
She's got her own, a sense of fame.
Yes.
And so I think that's that. So I get it from the females. I mean, my grandmother was the breadwinner. She had to leave my mom to go work for the family,
And the whole
family. Not just
her kids.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Did you draw anything from daddy?
A lineage of, my dad was sweet, so I have a very sweet streak.
Yeah.
I have a very sweet side. I'm kind, compassionate. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm fun, man, and my dad was that.
I hear you're fun with the kids as well.
I am.
Like,
my kids.
There's somewhere where
we don't TikTok. We don't TikTok because that's where I throw the line. I throw the line at TikTok.
Why do you?
I don't know. I just think I'm too much of a serious actress. Now I'm TikToking. All right, guys. Hollywood is not gonna call me.
They'll say we thought you were great until we saw your TikToks and we changed our mind.
No.
Have you enjoyed? Because motherhood can be quite a tricky space. You walk into it with no knowledge, only references from how you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
Did you grow into it? Do you enjoy it? What is your experience of motherhood?
I love being a mom, and I've got 3 children of my own, and then I've got my nephew Sabonga, but they're all my children. He's
your kid, yeah.
And he's my children's sibling. And because I'm a single mom, and because I've been doing it for so long, that's the only thing that keeps me focused and sane.
Wow.
And the reason to knock on doors and not kick doors, break windows, try chimneys.
So it gives you purpose.
It does. It does, because then bazodlana abantwana bam, guys.
That's it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe that's why I'm lost. Hey. I need to have a child so I can fix this.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
No,
but
please,
you get what I mean.
Quickly, also, I encourage it.
Yes.
But yes, because then you can't let them down.
No, you can't.
You can't. And you need to live by example. You have to be their hero. You have to be the one person they look into and look at and are inspired.
True. Did you see yourself change into this role? And not that there was anything wrong before, but where you like, now I'm taking this coat, I'm putting it on, and it's called Ngumama.
Yeah, I think it was that. I think it was. I've always been responsible from an early age. But yes, that was for me okay, we are doing this for this now. You know what I mean? We need that acting gig because we need to feed these children.
Whoa.
We need to get that producing gig because they're now,
Imagine
you know what
that.
I mean? I can't empower 70, 80, 90 people that work for me and not empower my children. So guys, what are you doing? Let's go. Let's go work, So yeah, man, it literally, it does give me the sense of wake up. Don't sleep.
And
Collect your money.
Yes, you're raising teens. Is that a tricky experience?
My oldest is 21. So
you've had that.
Like an adult.
Yes.
This is a full-on grown-up adult.
Sounds like the 21 became a, can't believe we're here.
Yeah. But my son, my 14-year-old Siyabonga was amazing. And my 14-year-old is amazing. My daughter is just... But what I did say to them, we made a life promise, pinky promise. Like, you can't change, guys. Like, I can't wake up tomorrow and start thinking, who are these monsters?
Yeah.
You
did that early on.
Yeah, I did that early on, where I'm like, guys, please don't change on me. Don't switch on me. Don't. So, and it's something that we always joke about and laugh about. I'm like, you're not changing, right?
What made that a conversation point?
Because with my eldest, I went through the most. I went through the most. I went through, we are cool now, one moment, then the next moment we're screaming at each other. He went through it all, just in terms of the hormones and the testosterone kicked on a very high level. Very high level. Hence, I had to send him to boarding school. So it took a lot for us to kind of find our feet, but now we are, thank God, God is good.
You're good now.
We are on the other side now. But like, ungfraile.
Did it ever look like it'll never end? The way you say it's like...
Yeah, no, ungfraile. Yeah, I didn't know. I would wake up and be like, what kind of day is it today?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but look, he's a very sweet kid, responsible. But I just think... and I also think, and I don't want to blame his dad, but his father was never around.
Yeah. That, whether we agree or not, that plays a role.
Yeah. And he didn't have a father figure. And I know that it played a huge role because he didn't know.
Did you ever feel you needed to play both roles in some form?
No, I had to.
Yeah.
But it will never be enough.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
No. It will never be enough.
But see, Mother's Day, I'm thinking Father's Day, I'm thinking my mother.
There's
nothing like that.
There's nothing like that.
You still need a guy.
Yeah, no. And the father wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like, I remember bumping into him at... because SABC was closer to Melville and there was a supermarket at Melville. And then I was there to buy groceries. But now you can see in the basket, it's Nan, it's Nestam, it's Purity, it's Nappies.
Are you talking about his basket?
Mine.
Oh, your basket. Yes, of course.
So my son was 9 months old.
Whoa.
And I'm there, ngateng, about peri-nappies, teri-nappy. You know what I mean? Like, it's everything baby in the basket. And Sonia. I turn around. She's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, It's a supermarket, isn't it? And this is a man I was with for 9 years, by the way. And he looks into my basket, into my trolley. Instead of saying to the lady behind the till, no, it's okay, I got it. I'll pay for it. He's like, he looks and then he realizes it's a lot. Then I'm going to waste his time because I've got stuff in my trolley. He goes to the cigarette counter to go pay because and then he comes with a brown paper bag with biltong. Sorry, guys. I had to choke. Biltong. Brown paper bag. I was like, I was like, I'm yet. So it's fine. You can keep it. It's okay.
He gave you biltong?
Yes. My son was 9 months old. He didn't have teeth at the time.
Wow, man.
Black man!
Wow, it was fun.
Fun.
Did you ever see the need to have a chat and say not?
After the biltong saga, I was like,
really? But wait a minute.
No, there's nothing. There's no recovering after that. You didn't even offer to pay for the stuff. You went, when our cigarette count.
It is funny though.
Fundamentally, there's so many wrong things there.
Can we, for a second? Can our yes. Even though you're telling me.
That's what he did.
Wow.
That's what he did.
Is it someone we know? Because I don't know.
No, shame. No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
I told you I don't play in the
celebrity
pool.
No. You did say. Has he come around?
No.
For 21 years?
No.
What? Ufana naye nobabakhe umntwana. Because generally that's what happens.
No,
yes.
when it comes to looks, yes. But it's a combination of me and the father. But no, definitely. Thank God he's not.
Yes.
Thank God he's not.
Because you would see.
Thank God he's not.
Ever needed to have another conversation after the biltong, like years later?
It was done. After the biltong, I was like.
You never tried. You never said, put. You didn't see the need.
There was no need. There was no need.
Trying to fight for the male.
There was no need.
We need to be pushed to that.
I was failed at biltong.
I'm so disappointed in him. 21 years, all he ever offered was biltong.
Yeah. I didn't even bother to take him for child support.
Yeah, I was about to say, maintenance court and all of that.
I wasn't going to stand in the queues. No.
Wow. Okay. I want to talk about what you hope for your kids. When you see them now, what you've done with them so far, what do you hope for them?
Sure. Life, happiness, truthfulness, more life.
Yeah.
Because I just want them to fulfill their dreams. I mean, it's something that I even say to God till today. I'm like, while it's still in that laptop,
yeah.
Hi guys. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, there's a project. Click there.
Yeah.
Press end.
Yeah.
Press send.
Commissioning editors on the table.
So I want them to fulfill their dreams and I want them to have a full life.
Yeah.
Just so whatever dream. I wish them everything they wish for themselves.
Are they big dreamers?
They are. And also they're smart. My son, my 14-year-old is like a genius. He's like number one of the entire
region, so to speak.
Yeah, or the entire grade.
Oh yeah.
They had like a general knowledge quiz that they gave to the students, and then they gave the teachers also took it, and then he was number one but also beat the teachers.
Beat the teachers.
How did I get this genius?
You've had a number of marriages. What is your top 10 tips? That's too many. in terms of the marriage life and based on your experiences,
of course. So I was loboled when I was young, obviously, and then I got married, white wedding. Look, lobola, I was still a common low wife, right?
Yes.
But then it wasn't that obvious.
Yes.
Now it is what it is. Now it's like, you can't be confused.
You
are somebody's wife.
Yes. Well, many are confused.
Yes.
Sorry for another
I
time.
mean,
Yes.
so
But,
and I was
but
young.
How was that experience of being lobola at such a young age?
Yeah. So I obviously I didn't know what I was doing, and like first lover, hence I stayed, even though the red flags were there. I mean, when the biltong thing happened, I shouldn't have been shocked, right?
You saw them before.
The red flags were there, but I think you're young, you don't know any better. You this is the only person you know. You know, so also I'm a good girl, you know. I'd like to think so.
Yes.
So there was no room to maneuver and do any other thing else, but just to focus on this relationship. And then I got married again when I was a young woman. So I was lucky. I was blessed because then I had that experience as a child, and then young woman, and then I was a full on, grown. I was 30 when I had my white wedding,
and relatively famous.
You're
bringing all
Prime.
this.
Yeah. And then obviously, I then the divorce. So for me, the advice that I would like to give to anyone is like, number one, always follow your heart. Do you know what I mean? I can't emphasize that enough. If you are committed to somebody, that person, stay committed to them until you're not. So love until you don't love anymore. Stay until you can't stay anymore. And it's a tricky one, purely because lately things have changed. I don't know if people still love for love.
But is marriage, the concept of marriage, should it be really about love? I say
and
this
that's
because
another thing.
There's a business part of it.
No,
also.
but that's another thing. I'm glad you asked that, because now I was saying to my friends the other day, maybe the other day meaning a while back, I was like, I know that next time when I get married to somebody, it's gonna be a contract.
Yeah,
it's literally gonna be a business.
Because now you're aware
contract.
of it. Yeah.
Because chances are,
and you were married to a lawyer, you had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
that it has to be a contract.
Yeah. So now, definitely this time around, there will be a contract.
You're saying things have changed now. What do you sense about this change? With people coming together and
I think, thank God, South Africa knows me by now. They know that I mean well. Coming from a good heart, coming from a good place. There's been a shift, and people are still married, but then people are still seeking mamnganis. And then, is it wrong though? Again, because then chances, let's be realistic, somebody being with you for the rest of their lives, I think somebody who wants a tembu, for me, there was a time when it was a hell no, but now I'm like, guys, come on.
Why do you get it?
There's more women, lesser men. And as long as you're open and honest about it, as long as it's not dirty.
I'm trying to understand what has led you to this space, because this is a very unusual space for women to get to.
Yeah. And I think, though, at the back of my mind, because I've always been in long-term relationships, I come with an understanding that I walked in there with good intentions, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. And walking away doesn't mean that I hate somebody or I'm upset about somebody. But I can tell you for free, the first relationship of my life, there was always another woman throughout.
Ooh.
Whether it was several, whether it was... So I've always dealt with that. Infidelity, like in a major way.
Whoa.
So...
You understand it.
I understand it.
What do you understand about it, though?
That it happens.
The argument will be, should it happen? Should it even be happening?
But it is.
You sound like you're saying, well, that's how men are. Why don't you say it out loud? Because that's essentially what you imply.
It is what it is. It won't change.
Are you saying men will cheat? Are most likely to cheat?
Women cheat too.
That's my point. I'm getting there, but that's why I'm curious to know your perspective, because you're saying I understand.
Guys, chances of him being loyal to you for the rest of your life are zero.
Really?
Yes.
So what options do you have?
So now either you turn a blind eye, I suppose, like people do.
But how do you live with yourself?
Or you leave. I chose to leave after the first one. Don't want to be sued. But I stayed until I couldn't stay anymore. Hence I said earlier, my advice is stay until you can't stay anymore. But you also, when you leave, you can't blame anybody. If you know what I mean.
No.
Because
you know
you chose to stay.
You were part of.
I was part of it. Yes. And look, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Men will do it and women will do it. So stay knowing what you're doing.
Stay knowing what you do and make peace with it, man. Whatever it is, make it work for you.
Yeah.
Make it work for you. I'm not condoning it. I'm not happy about it. I don't understand it, especially now the blesses, the stay queens, I'm not. I don't want to be a part of it, but I get it. I get that it happens.
Yeah.
I have guy friends that have young women as their girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm mentoring young women, and
that's why I'm asking, what do you tell them?
It's a tricky one. When it comes to love, it's a tricky one. I will mentor you in the business space, right? But when it comes to love, you can speak or you can scream, you can coach, you can do whatever, but people still do what they do anyway. So I think human behavior, it is what it is. People will behave the way they want to behave, regardless
of what
you tell them. If there's ever such a word.
Would you still get married if given the opportunity?
Personally,
yeah,
I'm not opposed to it. I'm really not opposed to it, but I'm aware that it would have to be a contract of some sort.
Should anyone come with us? That's bad.
Yeah, let's be realistic about it.
Yeah,
man. Let's not be fools.
And
1 year, 1 million. 2 years, 2 million. 3 years, 2 million.
You're hectic.
And so forth and so forth.
Because I've had the privilege of looking at you straight in the eyes for 2 hours. You're an amazingly beautiful woman.
Oh, David.
Surely there's guys who are falling off their feet trying to get your attention.
I'm not moved.
Whoa. What moves you?
No.
Nah, you've been moved before. Surely you know what moves you.
I've been moved before, but I'm not moved. It's because I know them. Like every guy there is.
Come on.
Nyabazi. Like people like Nyabazi. It's people that have been in my space. And I know their wives. And I know that now they're chasing after my little girls that I'm mentoring.
Oh, hell.
I'm not moved, to be quite honest. For me, it's going to take a miracle. But also, God knows me. So, deliver. Deliver.
I know them. Who? Then there must be Superman then. Like that hasn't even, you haven't met it.
Yeah, I don't think my person is in this country.
Oh boy.
I'm going to regret
Maybe, no. Maybe he's here. We have a lot of foreign nationals.
I'm going to regret it.
Maybe he's not from this country. Then.
Maybe.
We have many foreign nationals in South Africa.
Like Nyantanda, Mama Chance.
So you don't care for us much. Or you think you know us. So there's no hope.
You have not proven. You have not proven.
So then there's no hope for a South African man. And in the nicest possible way.
Again, Nyantanda.
But. What is your greatest fear about us?
Okay. I'm currently being shelled because the Shellingtons are there.
Naturally.
The Shellingtons are plenty.
That's what we do. It's our thing.
So there's this Shellington who happens to have also shelled my daughter. Not my 11-year-old daughter.
Yeah, but your mentees.
My mentee.
Yes.
So,
So you're saying that's us.
And he's not the only one, by the way. Yeah, so
Are we that predictable? A South African man?
I feel
from your experience.
Yeah, I'm not moved. Sorry, guys. I love you, but I'm not moved.
Yeah, it looks like it is more shell. Like we are the ones who messed this up for ourselves.
Yeah, but it's all good. I mean, we can hang out.
It sounds like
You can invite me to Konga.
You've rejected all of us at once. It's so big.
Yeah.
So even the ones that are shellering now, you're saying,
no,
I see you, but
no. It's because I'm not blind, so I'm not, and I'm surrounded by these young women. So I send them like, go find out about this person. They come back, they're like, "Mums, sorry, he's a bit of an asshole." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
As we wrap up, future plans. What's going on? And the water clearly being an important part of your life.
Yes. We are now in some Topses, some spas, garages. We are online. I want everyone to be drinking Alchemax. It's alkaline water to the maximum, supercharged, pH 10.
What does it do to me?
So detoxes, it has antioxidants, it helps with gastric acid, and overall best, purest water. I think currently in the market, pH 10.5. Come on.
Wow.
Not even those other brands are 10.
No.
They are not even anywhere near.
And how is it doing though?
It's doing great.
Yeah.
It's doing great. We are becoming more visible. We are on social media. We work
because it's quite a competitive space.
It is a competitive space, but we don't compete.
You go.
We are alkaline water, Alchemax.
Actually, you don't find that a lot. In alkaline water, you don't find it. There's only I saw one petrol station that had the branding is oranges, burgundies. I'm just saying.
Talk about those people.
But I saw that, and I remember thinking,
and we are right behind. We are right behind.
But this is you. This is what you're doing.
Yes. I'm not a brand ambassador. It's my company. I have business partners.
Yes.
No, I have business
and
partners.
A complete commitment to this.
Yeah, it's because after 2020, I couldn't work. I couldn't gig, and money was going out, not coming in. And I had to look at my coffers and say, where to from here? And I'm a huge water fan. I drink water, but I was drinking the wrong kind of water. So deep research and realized that, there isn't a Black-owned, majority female-owned water company in the country, especially in the alkaline business. So it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. If we ever will support it, let's just support it that it's Black-owned and
yes,
female.
please.
Let's have a reason.
Let's have a reason. Yeah. And besides, it's
good. It's good for you.
Very good. Very good. pH 10.
I think you're an incredible South African.
Thank you.
I wish you well in so many ways.
I'm a wild card.
Yeah. I wish you well in so many ways. I want to see your productions. I want to see this Mapiano idea that you got.
Let's talk about
it's so tricky though. I mean, television, I love it. Absolutely love it. Love Radio Fest. Television is a side chick.
As I say,
but she gets a lot of attention.
But she's happy.
I'll tell you that much. She gets a lot of attention. She's a happy side chick. But she knows who Mama Sendlin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And uyahlonipha mamkhulu.
Kakhulu.
That's good.
We read you. Mari ngiyamthanda man lo sisi. Sure. Uyangifrustrate.
Yes, no, of course, as she should.
I keep knocking. Ngifuna ukumbona akafuni.
Yeah, no. Funi mali.
That's why camera. But I that's why I wish you well in terms of your productions. I hope whoever you speak to in that space finally listens and says, let's work, let's do another one of these shows that you want to do. Is there more of this cancelled show that's likely to come? Housewives?
Yeah, just watch the space.
Might happen.
Watch the space.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sonia Mbele.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
I'm so happy that you're a Pretorian.
Right?
It makes me happy that you're a Pretorian. Those are my people, man.
So
thank you, everybody.
You can do coffee again.
Yes.
Yeah, no, now that you know,
we'll be easy.
Yeah, wanna go high.
Thank you so much, Sonia Mbele, everybody. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
King David Studio Podcast.